Hi guys, Tom Morrison here, and welcome to this 4-part series on your shoulders and overall shoulder training. So, I thought I would set stuff up and make it look a bit more interesting, but I can't be bothered. So, we're just going to go over to the board now, and we're going to go through shoulder training. So, it's very important with your training that you have it well-rounded, obviously. So, you never want to just be doing one exercise, because it's not very beneficial for you, really. So, think about your shoulders and how they want to move. Build your program around that. So what we have here is a circle, and this is your shoulder, okay? Now, here is where you want your shoulder to be, in the middle of the socket. Looks like a nipple, but it's your shoulder. So what you have for shoulder training is up, down, forwards, and backwards, okay? And you need to have a push variation and a pull variation in all of those planes of motion. So the very first one we're going to go through in this video is up, okay? So the two exercises we're going to cover are your pull-up and your handstand push-up and your press. And that is going to be all above the head. The very first thing that you need is the adequate mobility to be able to perform those movements. And what you need, first of all, is the ability to be able to keep your ribs locked down and extend your arms up above the head in a nice straight line. If you can't do this position here, then say your arms are like here, then whenever you're hanging, you're going to be hanging on the wrong stuff, if you know what I mean. So with that centralized dot in the middle of the circle, that's the way, if your shoulder's in a good position, you're able to actually reach up into that and have a good overhead position, which is something you can actually build on. Rather than you having your arms stuck away over here somewhere, you're not going to be able to use your lats properly whenever you're trying to do anything above the head, okay? Which causes things to grind over time and give you achy shoulders, and you just won't reach your full strength potential. So if you struggle with that, I highly recommend going and getting the simplistic mobility method from my website and working your way through that, because that will give you the adequate thoracic mobility and your overhead positions as well before you start to strengthen, okay? So always never skip out that foundational part, and you will be a lot stronger for it. So first exercise I want to work with is the pull-up. So what you're going to do, so don't even worry if you can't do pull-ups yet. This is a really nice progression. Can you see this here? So maybe move you over here a wee bit. Come with me. Come with me. There we go. Set you here. There, that should probably be better. If you would like to choose a t-shirt, you can. So, my rings are hanging just below my chin, okay? Then from there, what I can do is keep my feet on the ground and go down into this fully hanging position. Then I can start to work on my pull-ups from here, okay? So I can rotate on the way up and finish in a chin-up position, or I can just pull straight up as if I was on a bar, okay? I can use my legs for as much assistance as I need. This will help me to do higher volume, so more reps, if my feet are still on the floor. If I wanted to make it a bit harder, I could just go one foot on the floor. I'll have to use my arms a bit more. If I wanted to go a bit harder again, I could just go with my tippy toes on the floor, like this. And then you need to set them up at a height that your arms will be fully locked out. And then when you come back up, boom, more effort to do this here, okay? Like that. And that's still challenging enough. I can do pull-ups, and I still find that exercise really challenging, but there is less body weight on it because your feet are still on the floor, but you're trying not to push through the legs then, so it takes the weight out of the legs. So that is your upper body pull in that vertical motion that you want to have. Then we're going to move on to the pushes. The next movement you want to have down for your upper body vertical push is your handstand push-up. It's a great exercise to have, again, as long as you have the required mobility for it. If your wrists ever give you jip, I highly recommend that you go and check out my T Nation article, Stronger Wrists, Bigger Lifts, and it'll have everything in it for wrist mobility that you need. Make sure you always warm up your wrists before you do anything like this. So what you're aiming to do is kick yourself up and have yourself nice and close to the wall, and then reach up as high as you can, making sure that your belly is nice and tight, and bend the legs as ever much as you need to be touching the wall. The bottom position is most important, that you're reaching up as high as you can and you get the leg or the head through at the top position, okay? This is the most important part of the movement. Then from there, you can start to keep the shoulders active, lower yourself down nice and slowly, just touch your head to the mat, and then press yourself back up nice and slowly, okay? From there, you start to build up your reps. You can use a little bit of a pillow or an extra pillow if you want, if you need that, and then eventually you can stack plates up beside that, and your full goal over time would be to have plates stacked up so that you're actually lowering down to about here rather than just going to the top of your head, because you're only going to get strength in this position here at the start, okay? So it's a progressive exercise that you always want to be getting better at and increasing the depth that you're actually going. So whenever you can do deficit handstand push-ups to here, that pretty much sorts out a lot of your shoulder training, so you won't have the need for the strict press as often. Still great to do anyway, but this exercise is where it's at, and again, your body gets a lot more benefits from this. There's a lot more core needed for this stuff, and just always make sure that you're bracing as hard as you can, and do not forget about that overhead position and having everything locked out, because that is what will maintain your mobility as well. So once you have a good foundation and good positions, you want your training to support that and help you maintain that. So always think about full range of motion all of the time, and do things slower, slow things way down. Any exercise you slow down to like really stupidly slow becomes a core exercise, okay? If you're shaking when you're doing something, you're probably doing it right. And again, always film yourself whenever you're doing the exercises as well to make sure you definitely look the right way and you're not only going halfway up. So the worst thing you could do would be to always just go up like this and stop in this position and just go like this and lock out here. So you're only straightening your elbows. It's not really enough. You want this top press through position every time whenever you do your handstand push-ups for strength. Okay guys? Oh, hang on. Strict press. So your strict press is probably one of the ones that you're going to be able to find the easier one to do. So have a nice even grip on the bar whenever you step it out, and again, make sure your ribs are tucked down and you're pressing up using all the muscles and not just the wee ones at the front. Okay, so from here, step yourself under, boom. So before I even push, I'm locking everything down, and then up at the top, press, lock it in nice and tight. This is what you want to be your resting position. Then from there, you bring it back down, back up. This is your rest position. Down, up. So the top is your rest, rather than you going like this. You're not going to get the same benefits from that, so you may have to bring the weight that you're pressing down a little bit, but like I said, this will be more beneficial for the general health of your shoulder and keeping everything moving well, okay? So that is your 3 exercises to work on for your vertical push. Keep an eye out for the next video that I do on this subject. We'll cover the next line, as it were, and subscribe, like, comment, share, tag people, do all that stuff if you want to see more stuff like this. So yeah, thanks for watching.